Frequently asked question number 70. Can we use chorus sand for our succulents? Now, yes, guys, chorus sand is going to work out really well. As you can see, this was an arrangement that I had made. Now, this is a cookie box. It is a metal container. It is a metal cookie box. Initially, I had made another arrangement, but while shifting, that arrangement went haywire, so I had to remove everything. And then I had some of the cuttings that I wanted to, keep in something. So I had this box of sand in it. Now these are very different chorus sand. This is a slightly larger granular. You can see the granules of this sand is very big as compared to what I usually tend to use. So even this tends to work out really well, but over here I would say this is around 60 to 70% of chorus sand and filtered garden soil. So over here the size of the sand grains, or I would say they're more like larger granulars, so I have used a little bit more of garden soil because this is going to dry out much faster if I use very less, because usually I tend to use 80% aquarium sand and 20% of filtered garden soil. But if I'm going to use 20% of filtered garden soil, it is not going to work out really well for my succulents, because so as we have spoken about this earlier as well, even though succulents do not like a lot of watering, but definitely they are plants, they need water at regular intervals. The only thing, those regular intervals are a little bit extended period of time, but they still do need water. So when you tend to water the soil, the water should quickly drain out of the pot, but it should have that moisture so that the succulent can quickly have the drink. Now within a couple of minutes, probably 1 to 2 minutes, the succulents will start absorbing the water. They do not waste much time because in their natural habitat they do not have the luxury of water that is going to be retained in the soil. First of all, the conditions are very arid. The rains are very scanty. They don't tend to get a lot of rain. So whenever it tends to rain, the water tends to fall onto the soil or onto the surface, and it immediately starts to evaporate because the ground has been dry for a very long time. So in that way, the succulents have a very less time to absorb water. That is the reason why they have their roots on the mid level or on the upper layer of the soil. So the moment the rain tends to fall, they quickly start absorbing that water and start storing that water in their leaves. So they do require water, but not in a huge quantity. So over here, as you can see, all of these succulents are doing extremely well. Now these are all in morning direct sunlight for 5 to 6 hours. That's why you can see they have this beautiful color. This is my Graptoseedum ghosty. You can see it looks completely different over here. These are some of my Seduverias. This is my blue elf. This is my Titubans. I'm not very sure about this Echeveria. These are my avocado cream. So they all have been doing extremely well. This is Echeveria Hercules. So all of them have been doing quite well. The soil is very loose, very porous. It tends to get dried very easily, even though this is a metal container, but you can see they're doing quite well. Now if you tend to see, the size of this metal container is not too deep, it's very shallow. Let me check. So this container is approximately 2.5 inches in depth, so it's not very, and apart from that you can see it still has the depth in the pot as well. So probably this container or the succulents are potted in almost 2 inches of pot, and they are doing extremely well. You can also see that there is a lot of space in between because these were just cuttings. I was not very sure where exactly to put them, so I thought meanwhile I'm just going to let them be in this pot and later on I might move them. But the moment I seen that they are doing extremely well, they were completely acclimated and they were comfortable in this container, so I just left them as it is, and they have been doing extremely well in this. As of now, I'm not thinking of shifting them because they're looking very pretty in this. Probably I will add few more succulents in this, and I'll try to make it a little bit more fuller, but again giving them that good amount of space for them to grow. You can see how compact they have become over here. Initially there was a lot of space, but as and when they started to grow, they got a little bit more compact. Now I'm not worried about them being compact. The reason is because they don't tend to grow wide. This is a Seduveria variety and this is the Graptoseedum variety. So they tend to grow vertically upwards, so I'm not much worried. If it was an Echeveria, I would have been little worried because they grow horizontally and they tend to push into each other. But whereas these tend to grow vertically upwards, so it's not going to be much of an issue even if they are very closely compact to each other. For that matter, even my Graptoveria titubans and the avocado cream also tends to grow vertically, and the blue elf as well tends to grow vertically. So there is not much of an issue that I have to be worried about. The only thing is the Echeveria over here. This is a variety of Echeveria. I'm not very sure about it. Then I have a Echeveria mabina over here, which again will grow horizontally. So there is 1, 2 and 3 of Echeverias that are going to grow horizontally, but others will grow vertically. So it is going to complement very well. So I might add in a little bit more of sedums in this so that it becomes a little bit more fuller. The best thing about these Ceraria sedums, Graptosedums, they tend to grow vertically, so there is not much issue of them getting crushed against each other because they tend to grow vertically. So I think the chorus sand is going to work out really well. If you have a larger granule chorus sand, like this one is quite large, so you can increase the amount of garden soil. But again, the garden soil has to be filtered, because if you're going to use it with dust, then that dust is going to make the entire setup very compact. So you have to ensure. So this is working out really well. Everything is going very well as per plan. I initially thought that I will shift them, but I think they're looking very pretty in this. So probably in this empty spot over here that you're seeing, I might add a few more sedums, and probably over here I might add one sedum, and that's all about it. I do not want to overcrowd it. I'm not putting any decor pieces. That's all about it. So guys, I hope that this video was helpful to you. If it was, please hit the like button, and thank you so much for watching.